Have you ever driven over a highway bridge and couldn't help but look below? Or stood on a shoreline's rocky ridge just to watch the water flow? And count yourself as one of the few with a different set of dreams, the kind that keeps you up at night, 'cause you can't wait to get to that stream. It's more than a river. It's more than the water flowing or where it's going. It's the grip on the paddle and the shit in the saddle, the V in the boulders and the lean in the shoulders. When you reach for the eddy, it doesn't get better than this. Yes, it's more. So much more than a river.
Welcome. Hello, everybody. We're so glad to have you here live with Cross Currents Leadership. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Substack. And we have been having so much fun talking to experts from across paddle sports and outdoor recreation every Sunday and Wednesday night for just 15 minutes for the months of January and February. To get you those critical nuggets that are going to help you level up your paddle sports leadership for 2026. I know we've gotten such great feedback. I know tonight is going to be another phenomenal episode, and just happy to have everybody here. Tonight, we continue our series talking about some of the new programs coming from ACA by talking with Geoff Luckett about the ACA Paddle Sports Fishing Program. Geoff, thank you so much for making time for us tonight.
Thanks for letting me come on.
Y'all, Geoff and I have been a little bit joined at the hip on this for a while because we've been advocating for the anglers that put a paddle in the water and that they need the instruction and the help just as much as all the rest of us. And I just want to really take the time to convey to you how lucky we have been and continue to be to have Geoff's leadership helping us guide this program. Geoff founded Tennessee Kayak Anglers in 2012, and that group now has more than 13,000 members. Geoff is a full-time educator, so he teaches for a living and already had a full plate. But he also came on board as a kayak and fishing instructor trainer, as the co-author of the ACA curriculum. Shout out to Don Deem, who helped us pull that together as well. And now, most recently, he was named chair of the newest ACA Discipline Committee. Drum roll, please. As of December, Paddle Sports Fishing is officially a discipline committee with the ACA Safety Education and Instruction Council. So Geoff, for the benefit of our audience, you and I have fought in the trenches on this all along, yes. But tell us how this program came about.
Well, it really came about when you and I kind of started talking, and there was an explosion in kayak angling, especially here in the mid-state. I live in Middle Tennessee, and Tennessee was having an issue with safety. We had the most deaths. What year was that, Andrea? 20?
Yeah, it was 2020 when we tied with Arkansas, when Tennessee was the number one state in the nation for river-related paddling fatalities.
Yeah. So, and I came
watching the news, we knew some of those were anglers.
Yes, and I came to paddling because of fishing. And I knew most of the people around here were the same, that, they started paddling because they wanted to get off the bank fishing. I did it early. I lived in Florida in the 90s, and I started in the 90s. But through years of mistakes, I kind of figured out how things should go. But then we started talking, and we were like, there needs to be some instruction, like a curve, right? You could cut that learning curve down and learn from other people's mistakes. And so that's how
that's my favorite way to learn.
Yeah, right. So that's how we started.
The hard way.
It's kind of how we started. And you encouraged me to become an instructor through the ACA, which I did. I'd always wanted to be a paddler, but kind of was shied away from it. But fishing was what brought me to it. So then, through the ACA, I got to be an instructor, and then we started working on the curriculum. And like you said, Donald Deem really helped. It just kind of what he does for a living too, is he writes instructional programming. So it kind of was synergy, really. We all had the same drive, and we all had kind of experience in how to write curriculum and set things up for learning. So.
Yeah, and within the ACA, we should give Geoff Atkins a shout out because
Yes.
he really was a significant mentor. Being able to bring that internal ACA expertise and curriculum with yours and Don's expertise in fishing and teaching and curriculum, it really became a dream team in terms of being able to pull this all together.
Yeah. So, and Geoff had been, he'd been with the ACA for a long time, so he understood all the ACA inner workings. But he was also an angler, so he understood that side as well, and so it bridged that gap. So we could get the curriculum written and get it through all the things. The ACA is very serious about their instruction, which is great. Like, we wanted it to be with an organization that's been around 100 years. So, and there's a lot of checks and balances, and it's got to be right. So in order to get that passed, it was work, but it was work that needed to be done. So we knew it was valid.
That's right.
It wasn't just something that was just thrown together.
Yeah, we all, everybody on the team had that same mission-driven focus from the very beginning that we wanted this to be the gold standard.
Yeah.
So we've had for a couple of years now, we've had the program so that instructor could get certified to teach fishing, and that we had skills classes and curriculum laid out so that they can offer classes to the public. But really, I think the momentum changed when we got some of those heavy hitters involved.
Yes. So, it's like a snowball. It starts out small and it grows. And, we also knew when we started this program that we needed people who had a lot of experience and people trusted, right? So we wanted anglers to realize that there's value in this program. It's not something that was just thrown out. And so when we started getting people wanting to get certified from the tournament scene and the influencing scene and the guys that everybody knows because they're on television, Drew Gregory, Jeff Little, Jamison Redding, Dustin Hoy, Chuck Earls, all these guys that people know and trust because they've been on in front of people a lot and win tournaments.
Right.
When they came to the class and saw the value in the class and then wanted to get certified to teach the class, that just builds the validity, right? It just makes it valid for everyone. And they see the value in it. So we really knew, like, once we got it through the ACA, we knew we needed to get some people. And then recently we've got Chad Hoover that's come through.
We got Chad Hoover. We had Wade Clements from Yakutat.
Wade, yeah.
Kevin Hawkins from Keku.
Yes. So, it's growing and the word is out. And when they've come, especially to the instructor classes, and they see how serious it is and how much work we've put in to make it a valid program.
It's robust.
And they're excited to be there. That makes us, the people who wrote it, feel validated. Because that's what we wanted, right? We wanted it to be something that people could use, not just something that's out there. That's
right. And, there's something to be said. I linked in the show notes the article when I forget whether it was Russ handing the trophy to Drew or Drew handing the trophy to Russ, but, the previous Bassmaster Kayak Series Angler of the Year handing the trophy to the new Bassmaster Kayak Angler of the Year, and they're both ACA certified fishing.
Yeah, Russ is a certified instructor as well. Yes.
Yeah, and we've got Chad at Kayak Bass Fishing, and that is taking this seriously and building on it in his own way, and as all ACA instructors do. So I feel like we really got a lot of momentum. And certainly got some national media. I've included that in the show notes as well, from Paddling Magazine, from Kayak Angler Magazine. Yes. Jeff Little did an episode on his channel, The Little Stuff, about what it took to become an ACA instructor for anybody who's considering that path. That's a little 30-minute episode you can watch.
Yeah. So and kind of the way it's set up, if you're not familiar with the ACA, is we have skills courses and then we have instructors courses. So a skills course is what you would come to if you're just wanting to learn from these instructors. And, it can be set up different links. It can be set up to focus on different things as a course is listed, or you look for a course, or you talk to the instructor. You can tell them what you're interested in, and they can tailor a course to fit the needs of the class. And then we also have, if you want to be an instructor, there's an instructor pathway. where you would come and in that instructor pathway, you learn how the ACA teaches certain skills, and you learn the organization and how we set things up, and then you get checked off, you get certified that you have the skills necessary to teach everything that's in that curriculum, that we set forth and wrote, and that's kind of the gist of it.
Now, I think the next chance people have, if they're interested in pursuing that path, Jake Vitak is doing an instructor certification workshop down in Tampa in April, and I've linked that in the show notes as well. That includes an opportunity for new instructor candidates to become a level 1 kayak instructor and then layer on the instructor endorsement to teach fishing. But if you are already a certified ACA instructor and would like to just come for the day and add on the instructor endorsement to teach fishing, that's also an opportunity. Yes.
And so now you can come and do that all at one time. You can get your instructor certification and your endorsement in paddle sports angling all at once. Where in the beginning you had to get certified as an instructor and then add on the endorsement. So now we have our own committee within the ACA, and as we start to modify our curriculum, as anything goes, once you start teaching, you realize, oh, this could be better. This, we need to focus more here. So through the years, there will be modifications to the curriculum, and we'll be able to do that through our own committee now in the ACA.
Yeah, it's going to be a much more streamlined process to continue to evolve and improve the curriculum, which is very exciting.
Yes.
And we got a real vote of confidence between the leaders in the SEIC and the leaders on the board of directors. We got a real vote of confidence that in what we're trying to do with the kayak angler community. I know that when we have bad news, when we have incidents and fatalities in the kayak angler community, they tend to get a lot of media, and it tends to go all over social media. Because a lot of times it's happening at tournaments or in pre-tournaments, and so it's folks that have a following, right?
Yeah, and for the longest time it was very grassroots. The kayak fishing community was very tight knit. So when something like that happened, it kind of reverberated through the community. Over the last 10 years for sure, last 5, it has really exploded to where you can't. It's hard to go to a body of water in Middle Tennessee and not see somebody fishing from a kayak.
Well, and what I love about our curriculum is that the way you and Don set it up and the way our instructors and instructor trainers teach it, it really does focus on the paddle sports fishing. But along the way, you're learning skills that help you come home alive.
Yeah. So, when we set it up, our focus really was on that safety piece, but we didn't want it to just be a safety class. So these classes are set up to teach paddling skills. Paddling skills are really important when you're fishing, being able to get your boat positioned where you need it to be, being able to read the water, to know how to position your boat. All those things make you a better fisherman. Being able to use proper paddle strokes so you're not fatigued. All those things makes the day on the water better, but it also makes the day on the water safer.
But I mean, you've heard me talk about it. It's almost like we snuck some of the vegetables into your muffins.
Yeah.
We're teaching the skills about paddling and boat control for the purpose of casting in the right spot and netting the fish without capsizing and all the things that help you be a better angler. But what you and I know behind the scenes is that those same exact boat control skills are the things that keep you upright and out of the cold water all the time. That's what keeps you home safe.
Yes. Yeah. So that safety piece comes through, but it's not just, you're not going to show up and be preached to safety. It's a class to learn paddling skills and also to learn fishing skills and how they meld, how they relate to each other. And like I said, over time you can learn that, for 20 years, I just went out there and tried to figure it out. But when you can come to a one-day class and really cut that learning curve down, it makes your day on the water enjoyable faster.
That's right.
Just through some frustrations and things like that.
Well, so now we're at the stage where we've got, we're up to 8 or 9 instructor trainers around the country who can certify new instructors. And as they're certifying new instructors, I know one of the places we found momentum is with a lot of the state agencies. Do you want to talk about that a little
Yes.
bit?
So state agencies have kind of found the value in, we've trained with in Tennessee, state agencies, and in Alabama, where
North Carolina.
North Carolina. So they've found the value in these courses, and when they can come to a course and learn skills for just paddling, but also relate that to an outdoor activity such as fishing, it's like they're learning two things at once. So it's good for their time. So they're not having to go to two separate classes. And there's money for it in the budget a lot of times to get training, to do training. So when you can combine the two into one training, it really cuts down their time, where they can go get the skills they need and the information they need. And it's been very successful. We've had repeat customers. So, it really works out with state agencies to come to a class like this to get certified.
And I included some of the testimonial videos in the show notes, so that if you're affiliated with a state agency and want to hear what your peers had to say, that's available one click away. So we're now at the stage where we got to get some momentum. People are going to be looking for these skills classes out in the public. And you got one group of people that are looking for the skills classes. They want to come to a class with Geoff Luckett, or with Jeff Little, or with one of our big heavy hitters, or one of our local instructors. But there's another group looking to become an instructor. We've already talked about where their next opportunity is. How should folks reach out if they're looking for these opportunities, John?
So you can go to the ACA website. That's really kind of the first place to look. Instructors will post classes on the ACA website. You can search for instructors. You can search for instructors by state, by category. So you can search for paddle sports angler instructor by your state, or in a adjoining state. Or even if you're looking to travel, then you can look for one in a state, and then look on the calendar and see if there's classes. Instructors don't always list their classes on the ACA calendar, but they will have a contact on that webpage, some type of email where you can contact them directly and just ask, hey, do you have a class coming up? Or I'm interested in a class. Instructors can set up classes for even private classes if that's something you're interested in. If you reach out, or groups of 2 or 3, it's up to an individual instructor how they want to set their class up. That's really the easiest way. But there's also, so like here in Middle Tennessee, Tennessee Scenic Rivers Association does a lot of education through the summer months, and they'll have a calendar. I know in Chattanooga, Tennessee Valley Canoe Club has the same thing. So if wherever you are, if you look for local paddling clubs and find their web pages, they will have classes listed. Sometimes it's just paddling classes, but if there's a kayak, a paddle sports angling instructor around, that they might list their classes there as well.
Well, but you so generously offered, because as you said, we've got 8 or 9 ITs around the country, and 60 some odd instructors have gotten certified. But not all of them are teaching full time. A lot of them have full-time jobs, right, and they sort of do this on the side. So it can be a little hit or miss to find that opportunity. If you're interested in finding something specific, or you'd like to bring an instructor class to your part of the country so that we can get more classes going in your area, please feel free to reach out to Geoff or me.
Yeah.
And we'd be happy to put you in touch with the network of folks in your region and play matchmaker. Yeah.
So if it's frustrating and you go on that website and you can't find what you need, just email me, and my email's in the show notes. There's a good chance that I will be able to connect you with the closest instructor, or help you find what you're looking for. We're still kind of small. We started this, so we kind of know everybody right now, pretty much, that's come through. All the instructors still contact each other because we're still on that level. So yeah, if you reach out to me or Andrea, we should be able to help you find what you're looking for.
Yep. And David Snyder put a comment in here that I want to address. David, he specifically fishes creeks.
Me too.
David, what you're looking for is an intro to river kayak fishing class. And I know you're thinking creek, but in Tennessee and Georgia, a lot of those creeks and rivers are a little bit interchangeable.
Yeah. And with the ACA, all that really means is the intro to rivers is just moving water, as opposed to a lake. So
Right.
it's not like class 5 intro to
Exactly.
the Ocoee River. It's just moving water. So, and that's my favorite. That's what I like to fish too, is the smaller moving water. That's kind of what I grew up fishing, and that's kind of what I gravitate to still. And that's why I like kayaks. It makes access to that easier.
Well, Geoff, maybe after the show, you could go in and answer David's comment. Tell him some of the places you'll be teaching this summer.
Okay. Yeah. Is he in Middle Tennessee? Did you say where he was?
He's in North Georgia. He's
Okay.
one of the leaders in TVCC, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, I will connect with him for sure.
So, well, everybody, thanks so much. Please thank Geoff Luckett for joining me tonight. We would love to have you all join our kayak fishing program here at with ACA stuff. Our next live conversation with Cross Currents Leadership will be Sunday night. We're going to continue on this fishing trend. We're going to be talking to Chad Hoover, and he's going to talk about his new venture doing online safety training for kayak anglers, and also his Nowhere No Share initiative, which I just love.
Yes. Wonderful.
And can't wait to tell you guys all about it. I think you're going to love it too. I want to thank all of our subscribers on Facebook, Instagram, Substack, YouTube, and in particular, I want to give a special shout out to those folks that opted to upgrade their subscription on Substack from the free subscription to throw a little special sauce to support the work we're doing online and in the community. Every little bit really does make a difference, and y'all are showing your faith in what we're doing here at Cross Currents Leadership. And I appreciate the support. It's really amazing. And as always, got to throw that shout out to Jerry Vandiver, our songwriter friend in Nashville, for allowing us to use his music in the countdown. I put his music links in the show notes as well. So check out all his paddle songs. It makes for great campfire listening. So thank you again, Geoff. And I'm sure we will be talking again soon.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Bye, everybody. See you Sunday.